Evening, Steelers, and welcome aboard the live stream. I'm going to see if this works tonight, simply because I've been trying to upload a couple of videos all day, and it's literally taken all day to upload 2 1-hour videos. So I don't know what's happening with YouTube at the moment, and it also looks like Tim over at the Napoleonic Wargaming channel has also been struggling to upload a video as well. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Anyway, we're here now. If you're watching, say hello, hit the like button, you know the drill. Tonight is going to be a terrain night. I've got evening decks. I have got these jungle terrain. Today a load of palm trees turned up, so I've got these to finish off. I don't think I'm going to do them tonight though, simply because I've got some other things. I've got a load of them over there just waiting to get done behind me, so I'm going to hold off on those. I think what I want to do is work on these buildings. Let's see how far we get with these buildings tonight. I was just doing those before I went live. We'll see how we get on with the buildings, and I will go from there. Really, if I've got a chance to do something with the jungle bits, but that might be a tomorrow thing now. So anyway, buildings. These are these 3D printed ones. This is one that I've turned into a terrace because it's got a double garden. So I thought I'll make it into a terrace. Mounted it on some plastic card, 3mm plastic card. Filled in a few holes here and there. I've undercoated it. Put some embossed plastic card and stuff on there as well. And that is basically ready for block painting, so that's what I'm going to try to achieve tonight. But first of all, we're going to do the weathering on this bad boy, and this is another one. Evening, Terry. Just been rewatching a Bag the Hun video. Played the first solo test game earlier. Excellent. And more gardens indeed. So there's another garden there, there's another garden here. So this was all painted yesterday whilst watching the Plastic Crack podcast, and then this morning I just slathered wash all over it basically. Evening, Paul, good to have you on board. So this is basically this is the Flurry Washers, so this is ready for wiping off, and then a little bit more weathering and bits and pieces on that, and then I'll be ready. Same with the garden of this as well, so I've got that to that same stage. That will need finishing properly, but might get that done tonight. We'll see. Yeah, I could do, and then I'll varnish them later on. Evening, Artemy Kaiser. From the Ukraine. I hope you're keeping safe. So anyway, we'll start with this, and I'll show you how these Flurry Washers work. So, just need some water first of all. From my little squeezy bottle, and just a cloth then, a nice soft cloth. This is one that I've been using to clean paint, and basically dip in, just get your cloth damp. What I did is I block painted it, done a little bit of weathering here and there like on the roof and stuff, but then I varnished it, so it should be solid enough now for me to actually wipe it. I just did it with a thingy wash, a varnish, a matte varnish. So I don't know if it's picking it up on the camera or not, but as I'm wiping the damp cloth down off, it's going to take off a lot of that clay wash, and kind of just weather it enough so that it stays in the cracks. Evening, Chris, Delaware, USA. Good to have you on board. Good to have you here. So yeah, dead easy. These washers are fantastic. They are by far the best weathering washers I've ever come across, and this is somebody who loves Agrax Earthshade. This is great. Hit the like button if you're watching and you're enjoying, or the dislike button if you're not enjoying. What I probably should have done really is, well, no, I'm not too bothered. I was going to wash the brickwork in white to give it a look of mortar in between the bricks, but I'm not that fussed on this one. How do, Dom? Good to have you on board. Good afternoon, Thomas. Painting a Bison SPG and a Panzer Jaeger 1. Excellent. Good stuff. What is everybody else up to tonight? What are you all painting? So, like I said, this stuff is just literally, with the water, it just reactivates the wash. It leaves enough of it on to give you a good stain. If you want to get it a bit cleaner, you just take the wash off earlier, but I've left it on all day. Or you put less wash on, but you can see there, it's, you know, it looks like the stains running down. So this is, I'm trying to get it looking like water stainage. But then what I'll do is, once I've done that, I will come back to it and I will touch up some other areas, like under the windows and things where you get a lot of water. When you're painting, I don't know about anybody else, but when I'm painting terrain and stuff, I find that I look at roofs and houses in a very different way, because I'm looking at how they should be weathered. You know, I'm just looking for how the different colours act on those on the buildings themselves, just to give me an idea of you know how things should look. So there we go, that's that other side as well. Can we get any more of that? Let's look. I'll do it with a bit of a Mr. Blue says he's painting Chain of Command Soviet support options. Italian Wars across from Dom, mounted crossbowmen. Excellent. Hey Tim, good to have you on board. Napoleonic Wargaming, painting a Dreadnought drop pod at the moment. Okay, evening Shakos and Sprues. Tim, I was going to ask you, you're struggling with uploading your video. I've spent all day today uploading 2 1-hour videos, so I don't know if you should be struggling at the moment. Normally they're done within an hour or so, so I don't know if there's some issue. And I've only got these 2, and they're not, you know, they're not nothing untoward. They should usually be done pretty quick, but so I don't know if your chain of command video is struggling. Ooh, I'm giving it away. Shouldn't have said. There you go. Spoiler. He's uploading to the World War II to a Napoleonic Wargaming channel. Can you imagine that? Paul is basing a battalion of Chileans tonight. Might get your first squadron of Argentinian cavalry finished and prepping some Chilean artillery. Of course, Paul is doing some bizarre, obscure war in the middle of nowhere. Great stuff. If I do an image search for roof images, do your best to imitate. Yeah, I was sat in the pub on Sunday afternoon with some mates, and I was looking over their shoulder at the roofs of the houses on the other side, and just thinking, oh yeah, that's how it looks. Bird shit everywhere. Painting World War I British, excellent. Not sure about the colour for the uniforms turned out. Okay. I don't know if you've seen Sydney Roundwood, Roundwood's World. If you have a look on there, he's got some painting guides for 28mm for First World War stuff, so for British and Germans, and they're really good. I've used them. I use them because he's a 28mm. I do mine for 15, obviously, but they are. I just use the basis of them for mine, and they turned out perfectly. Right, so we've got this little rusty shed in the back of this house, this garden here. So just cleaning off some of that stuff so it stays in the corrugated iron parts of the shed itself, and then same again just on the render on the walls here. Google was down for all Spectrum ISP customers the other day in Texas for a few hours. Okay. Where we at? Could be. It might end up being divided into 2. I'm having a restoring my calm break from at the moment. Yeah, I'm getting a bit frustrated with the ones I'm uploading. It does me head in. I've been building Azerite ruins, Games Workshop Age of Sigmar terrain to get some table terrain together for the game this weekend. Good stuff. Good stuff. Chain of Command on the Napoleonic Wargaming channel. You cover up to them, Alex. Burning down in Hougoumont in protest. Not my fault. He wanted to play it. You can't blame me. Always say it is. SNS, I use Steel Legion to Rab, wash with a Thornian camo shade of green brown. I'm happy with them so far. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Alright, let me literally just wiping off the crap so it leaves all the other bits and pieces. I'm not too fussed about the base of the garden because I'm going to cover that with grass anyway, a little lawn, nice little lawn. So that's the wash taken off for most of it. Plain turnips. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Never gonna happen. But you know, each to their own, and if that's what makes people happy. It does look like a fun game. I think if I was to go down that kind of route, I probably would enjoy it, because I like the Napoleonic feel to it. It does look pretty crazy. But I don't think I'll be trading in my my World War II or anything for those at this point. Right, so these are the Flurry Washers, for those of you who don't know them. Let me just show you the box here. This is the box I got a while ago. I've got quite a few different ones in. So I've got brown, grime, sand, which I don't think I've ever used actually, dark dirt, black, and light, and also rust here. And then I've got another grime as well. That's it. 54mm Shakos. And I think I've got 2 grimes in this, and I've had them for years and I've still not used them all up. That's how good they are, because they go a long way. You only need a tiny bit of them, but they just need a really good shake. And what it is basically, it's a clay wash which you can just manipulate a little bit and do what you want, and then wipe off. Really good for modelling AFVs and things. And then I started using it in my scenery as well, which is good. Friends of General Haig, ahoy, evening all. Sorry you're late. Right, you're banned. You're banned first of all. That's the first banning of the night. Can't turn up late. Do I have railroad tracks for your tabletop? Yes, I do, Thomas. I've got them for my Malaya Malaya stuff, because there's the Japanese followed with the train line down through Malaya, but I use them for other things as well. So can't remember where I got them from. I'll have to have a look and check and tell you where they came from. So literally put a bit on, wipe it off, and then you've got a tiny little bit of rust running down from some of these metal fittings, you know, as things do. I should really put more railroad on my tracks, but yeah, I got a load of them. I think it was last year sometime, probably during lockdown. I just decided I needed some. I didn't have any, so I thought I'll get it and I can just bang it out and get it done. And they are done and done, and that's the good thing about it. The other thing that I've got, which I like as well, are these things. Weathering pencils for modelling. So you left the Liam Perrins in the kitchen and everything. Oh good, okay, you can come back, you can stay if you leave, as long as you haven't come here with any Liam Perrins muck. More than happy. Right, so these are nice because they are they're basically watercolour pencils, but they're in various weathering colours. So this one is rain and streaks, and again incredibly easy to use. So I just dip them in water because they're watercolours, and then literally just get in on there, a little line, and then drag them down, and it gives you some nice little streaking effects and runnings and things. It says, where are we at? I'm losing it. More winged hussars as pennants. Good stuff. Picked some second-hand track from eBay. The TTR N-Gauge works 12-15mm. Yeah, I've got some TT gauge vehicle wagons to go on the stuff. Ironclad. I think it was from Ironclad. It's really nice track because it's raised up as well on a ballast bed as well. So that's works really well like that. You don't have to do much to it really. Need a bigger brush, I think. So look. Well, this one's not looking so good, so I'm not gonna use the white. It's a bit too light on that background, I think. So let's have a look at another one. We'll go with grime. I am a Henderson's man, 100% Henderson's man. We wouldn't have Wouldn't have that muck in this house. Liam Perrings. There we go. Dirt, streaking dirt. Same again. And again, I've had these for ages, and they go really far because they're only pencils. You only have to put on a tiny bit. That's better. That should look more like it. Get that on there. I think weathering is one of my favourite things. I think it's great. I love it. Because it's fun, and you can just do anything with it. It doesn't really matter. You can do loads or you can do little, and either way it still works. That must be the modeller in me coming out. I noticed it's the Caesar Awards on Friday. I don't know if anybody else saw that. I know somebody posted it in the Plastic Crack podcast Facebook page. But yeah, they just announced it. It's at, I think, 8 o'clock New York time, which basically is midnight UK time. I think I'm going to stay up for it. I stayed up for the last one. I think I'll stay up for this one. But I don't think... Although I've been nominated, and I'm very, very thankful for everybody who's nominated me, I don't think I'm going to win, unfortunately. But I'll still watch it. I shall praise those who do. I'm 19 viewers on at the moment and only 8 likes. Hit that like button if you're enjoying it. But I don't know if you can see, the camera is picking this up, but I'm just streaking the roof with this stuff just over the top of the other, just to add a little bit more interest and muck to the whole thing. Let's just turn this around a little bit. You can see me while I'm rattling away. You never know, I might get onto that jungle terrain later on as well. The thing I want to do is really just block colour the terrace house. How are you doing? As I'm painting a flamethrower team, the chain of command building catch fire from flamethrower attacks. No, each can ruin a building. I'm trying to think. Do they? No, not really. I think it's probably because the length of time that chain of command takes place over in game terms. It's not enough time really for a big building to start to catch fire enough. But in chain of command in particular, flamethrowers are absolute beasts. I would suggest, if you can afford one, always get one, and always keep it off the table until you get a full chain of command dice, and then use that to ambush with it, because you can ambush up to 12 inches away from a jumping off point. Let the enemy get in close, hit them with that 12d6, bang, it's a right beast. And then because they've ambushed, you can jump back off the table as well, so you can come back on again or just deploy normally with it. Yeah, they're nasty. Right, I'm going to go with that being done. I don't want to do too much. I'm going to put some weathering powders on it in a bit, but what I want to do is do a little bit more on the garden before I then do the actual garden itself. So I'll do that first of all. There you go, 3 of 4 6s and a wood building catches fire. So wood buildings do. Obviously a lack of likes from Liam Perrin fans, absolutely. Well, we don't want their likes. Don't need them. Hendo's all the way. And currently our one of our kitchen cupboards is full of Henderson's relish, because I got some at Steel Lard, and I only had about 3 bottles. So I've got tons of Henderson's. It's like, tell someone you're from Sheffield without saying you're from Sheffield. Right. Okay, so there we go with that. What I'm going to do now is, as I said, I'm going to do this garden. Do I do a little vegetable patch down the side? I think I should, shouldn't I? I think I should do a little vegetable patch. That'll be nice. Very wartime, isn't it, to have a little vegetable patch? So I'm going to leave a little space with the with the static grass. Let's see where we go with that. And then what I'll do is I'll seal this. I'll put some weathering powders on this, and I can seal it as well later on for with the varnish, and that can settle overnight, and then that'll be done. Yeah, I'll just get these brushes out of here. Right, there's 20 people watching. Say hello. Say hello in the chat if you're watching. If you're enjoying the conversation. And if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. Subscribe. Don't subscribe. Just need some PVA here. This is a nice little easy job. So look. Right. We've also got a little house in this. Hi, little legions. Gardens, vegetable patches. I was checking it wasn't Gardener's World. Yeah, well, you know, add a little interest to your tabletop. That's what I say. So if and then I can have a little garden path coming down that way. I'm just marking it out here so I know where I can paint up to. And then if I put the vegetable patch down that side, it should be alright, I think. What are we up to? Making roads out of roofing felt. Making a mess more like. Good stuff. Some more people making scenery. Always good. And there. I don't need a huge amount, I just want a little bit of greenery in this. Just having your tea, so I'm just in for 10 or 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Good stuff, don't worry. It's good to have you on board, Louis baby. Right, so there we go, there's that bit. What I might do is put some Vallejo earth stuff in where the fence is. Evening, Kevin, good to have you all. You're not late, Kevin, don't worry, you don't get a red card. Unless you've got some Liam Perrins with you. Right. Now onto these tufts. The tufts. Right, what looks most like vegetables here? Let's go with those. Are they MDF? No, these are 3D printed. Little legions. These are ones that Sabotage 3D Print did for me. It did me about 16 a few weeks ago. So I wanted to upgrade my my scenery and get rid of some of my much older scenery that I made years ago, back in 1996. So that's the reason for these. So you can see this is just 2 of them stuck together into a terrace. But then he also went and did a load of gardens for me as well. So that's what I'm finishing up tonight. Bit of Gardener's World, as Dom says. So let's just get these in. They just adds a little bit of interest to the tabletop. And I've been trying to up my scenery game over the last few years. I've got to a point where it's not just about the game, it's not just really about the figures. It always surprises me the amount of people that paint beautiful figures but then completely and utterly ignore the scenery. It drives me mad that the guys down at the club will always play on, some of them will always play on a bottle green MDF board. I just think, you know, you may as well just not paint your figures. But each to their own, if that's what they like. End of the day. Right, okay, so there you go. That's how it looks with the garden attached. I'll have a little think about that path, and I might leave it as it is. It looks okay-ish, I think. It's all about the eye candy. Exactly, Dom, exactly. It's about the journey, not the arrival. It's about how it looks while you're playing it. I don't really care if I win or not, as long as the game looks good. So that's that little path done, as I said, in the garden and the house. So that's pretty much finished. That I'm happy with that. I'll stick that to one side. I thought Tiny might have joined us. She came up a little bit ago. She's buggered off again. It's obviously too hot up here for her. So now we're up on this, onto this one. I'm trying to paint these in slightly different colours because I've got floor plans for each one of them, and the only way I can tell them apart, I suppose I could just write number 1 or number 2 on these things. And garden really makes it pop. Yeah, it does, exactly. It's a lot of wargaming terrain as well. Another thing is people will just have like a house, you know, but houses are surrounded by stuff, aren't they? They have things around them. Even if it doesn't have a garden, it has like, it'll have a fence or something just around it. It's a tax playing sci-fi games at the store, almost always a mismatched terrain. Yeah, exactly. It is a bit with the club as well. They've got terrain and stuff, but we were playing Saga in it, and we had like a Normandy style building, a ruined building in the middle of it. And it's like, are there no Dark Age huts? How confident are you of the adhesive or the shrubs and tufts? Very. You tended to do a PVA as well. Yes, I've done it sometimes, but I'm I've never had a problem with them, to be honest. But yeah, sometimes I've dabbed them into PVA just to hold them and make sure they hold them. Do the weathering effects work on the pre-painted MDF like the stuff from foreground? It should do. I don't see why it wouldn't do. I would probably seal it with varnish before you do anything though, because the MDF might absorb some of the paints, which in itself might be a thing that you're looking for, a way of. I've sometimes just painted MDF buildings without doing any undercoats or anything, because I like the way that it soaks into the walls, and it just gives it a bit of a what's the word? A look that looks organic rather than just having been painted blocks. But yeah, I'd test it. I'd probably test a bit of it first of all before I did any major parts of it. But they should work. I don't see why they wouldn't. So, question is, what colour do we paint it? Because he's got some render on it. And do I paint the two houses different colours, or do I paint them the same? I think I'm going to paint them the same. Same landlord. He painted them the same colour. I might do it stone grey. Can't remember if I've done it, or maybe German camouflage beige. It's quite a good one. So this is the easy step, because all I do is literally just blob this stuff on, and then if I paint like I can paint the windows different colours on the two different houses. That will break it up as well. So let me get a big old brush for this. You don't need to be neat. Go on, there's 20 of you watching now. Say hello if you're out there, and tell us what you're painting. So I know I should probably really use tester pots or some of those like art and deco art paints and things for this kind of stuff, but yeah, I don't have enough with me. But they are good. They're good and cheap. I agree with sealing foreground first, and those use a lot of coloured card that will run. Yeah, that's the other thing. It might their inks might run as well. You never know. So it'd just be better off, because I mean I seal these before I start weathering them anyway. In general, I'll paint it and then seal it, because some of the first ones I did when I was wiping off the weathering effects, the clay washers, it was actually taking some of the paint off the 3D printed stuff as well, which wasn't good. Afternoon, Richard. Test painting some Magister Militum 10mm Zulus. Excellent. They do some nice ranges, don't they, Magister Militum? They've got a huge stock in their online shop. Bought loads of stuff from them in the past. They're always at shows. Millions of dice. Some of their board games are a bit pricey though, but they do have a good collection and selection. So is anybody else going to be watching the Caesars on Friday night? Or will it just be me? Hoping that I win. And knowing that I won't. There's a lovely load of detail on these things. You just don't want to miss it out. It looks great. I keep meaning to look up when drain pipes were first became a thing on houses. I'm willing to say 20th century or late 19th, I would have thought, because these have got drain pipes on them. So I wonder how good they'd be for the Napoleonic period. Not that I really need that many houses because I play sharp practice, so I've already got some nice sharp practice houses from Sarissa, coaching in, and a little inn as well, a little cottage, and you don't really need a whole load of houses for stuff like sharp practice because they just get in the way anyway. I've got the tuxedo speech prepared. No, I haven't. No, I certainly haven't. I'll be very surprised if I get any award this year. I'd say I'd buy you all a pint, but then that'll probably jinx it, and I probably will get an award, so I'd have to buy everybody a pint. I'm a Yorkshireman, so I've got short arms and long pockets. Where's that paint I was using? I literally had it a second ago. There it is. Yeah. Go on, folks, you're watching. Hit the like button. I'm going to keep telling you to do it until you do it. It's all I live for, the likes. As I'm just block painting this, I can be pretty messy with it because I'm going to come back in and then do the brickwork and stuff with a smaller brush, and I'll just cut back in again anyway where I've gone over the edges, so I'm not too fussed. I just want to get this is the easy bit, just to get things to done. Here's to me, my wife's husband. I'm not forgetting myself. Evening, Andrew. Good to have you on board. What time is it where everybody is? It's currently 7:30 in the evening here in Rotherham. What time is everybody else? And a few people watching from across the world. There are people saying good evening and good afternoon and things. So this weekend just gone, I recorded two games. I refought last week's club game of Chain of Command that I had. I put on for Lee and for Gary, and it was US Paras versus Germans. Lee was the Germans, Gary was the Paras. 1500. 1802 in Uterbridge. Oh, you're out in Uterbridge, are you, Dex? That's where one of my first cats came from. Not one of the ones we got now, one from years ago. Cyril, he came from Uterbridge. 4:02 on the East Coast, USA. 3 PM. 1500. Blimey. So you've still got a full day ahead. And so yeah, I refought the Chain of Command from last week's club game, and completely reversed their outcome. I won't spoil it for you, but that will be coming out soon. Well, I say soon, probably in about 3 months. And I also recorded an Algernon Pulls It Off game as well. I did a Bloody April game because I've finished all those early war aircraft, so I thought I want to use some of these. So I recorded that, and they are currently uploading, I think, to YouTube, or they were earlier on. Fingers crossed by the time we finish tonight they should have both uploaded, because they've been at it since about 2 o'clock. Finally, attempt to go to the club next week where permitting. Excellent, good stuff. It was good to see you down there. I'm playing what am I playing? I'm playing Samurai Battles with Paul, so finally I don't have to take anything down with me. I can just turn up, and I don't even need to know the rules. It's one of the Command and Colours games, and I like those. I've got the Napoleonics, and I think is excellent, and I've got Great War, which I also think is excellent, and I've played Memoir 44, which I think is excellent. Downpipes, good for domestic houses from late 18th century onwards. Oh, that's good. That's excellent. That's good to know. Cheers, Terry. Is that a quick bit of Googling, or is that something you know? An architectural historian. Sorry, Kevin, what did you say? Oh, hang on. You're all chatting too fast now. Miniature buildings are a bit like a wife. You want them to look the best all the time, and if you don't, you pray for the day they leave. Very nice. I won't be, but I'll catch up on Saturday. I did vote for you and Seventh Son. I had to vote today for the AR. Yes, good stuff. Yeah, there was a thing that came through, wasn't there, today, I think? A voting thing. Okay, so that's those bases done. I'm going to get those roofs done now. Roofs are going to be in, let's have a look, dark blue-grey, I think. Commander Colours is a fun, enjoyable system. It is, yeah. I've got quite a few videos on the channel of me playing it. The Napoleonics one, solo. It's a great game. So I play solo largely because I very rarely get a chance to play it with anyone. It would be sad if I already knew it. But I don't know. I'm an archaeologist. You know, I should know these things. And if I was a buildings archaeologist, I probably would know these things about downpipes. And that would be my job. Does that make me sad? I don't know. But I'm not a buildings archaeologist, so I don't know about these things. But I know some people who are. 4 p.m. Virginia Beach, VA. Did put your name forward for the award. Thank you very much. That is much appreciated. Like I say, I'm just happy to have been nominated. Really, I'm fully prepared for Travis to win the fan favourite again, because he's been around for a long time and he's very well known. So I think he will deservedly get the award for that, as he did last year as well. I was looking at the voting numbers for the other section I was in, which is the AAR section. So I'm up against Big Lee's Miniature Adventures, and I can't remember the other guy's name, or the guy's name, but they did the Battle of Shiloh, and I know that the Little Wars TV viewers are largely mostly American, so they like the American Civil War. So I didn't think an obscure battle from the Far East between Indians and Japanese would do very well against theirs. I think if my quick strike of the Paras at Normandy, yeah, I think that might have done a bit better. But yeah, I think I'm way behind Lee. But again, it's great to see, because it's good to see that Lee gets some recognition. He's a great AAR as well. That one is well worth. Post-medieval downpipes, absolutely. 100% post. Everything after about 1400 is post-medieval. You've got a degree in anthropology. Okay. I have a degree in archaeology. Right. See, what I'll do with the roofs is I'll do this, and I'm going to dry brush them a bit, just to give them a bit of shape, because there's not much on them. And then I will, and then they'll get weathered. But I'm going to put a little bit of bird crap and stuff as well on before I seal them, before I do the other weathering. I don't know if you noticed it on the other ones again, just to break up the roof as much as anything else, really. It's always nice and relaxing, at least, painting these. As I say, they don't take much. I don't think I'm going to get this done tonight, because there's quite a lot of detail on it with all the shutters and the doors and stuff. But if I can just get the main, at least the main colours on it, which are going to be this grey, the render, and the brick as well, the brickwork. I can get those done, and then I can come back and I can neaten anything up that I need to, maybe tomorrow or sometime. Where's that paint gone? Dark blue grey, there we go. Let's see how we go with it. So what I might do in a little bit is turn back to the that jungle terrain stuff and see if I can get some of that squared away as well. Just cutting in on this edge here and the drain pipe. You've all gone very quiet. You got too intense for you. Yeah, making a mess of this. It's alright, I'll come back and neaten it up another time. Right, that's Mr. Roof done. Evening, Colonel Hat Thip Patrol. Good evening and best wishes from Lancashire. Good evening, young man, and good to have you on board. Got bits and bobs of jungle terrain on the race, so eagerly following the updates. Well, I don't know if you saw them earlier on, but I've got these bits here. These I was working on earlier on this evening. It's hard to paint and type at the same time, I suppose so. This one just needs a few more, a couple of little bits and pieces. But these are the trees I got in the post today. Came from China. I ordered them about 3 weeks ago, I think. Took a while to come through. But they're there. They're here now, and that's the main thing. He was checking out the seal drying on some 15mm trees. I was out checking the seal drying, sorry. Misread that. How do, Richard? You're back from the big smoke. About to continue on some 28mm ruins. Excellent. Good stuff. More terrain is always good. So let's get on with these bricks. And these bricks, I am going to use the Flurry Washers on them. I'm going to use a white wash so it'll settle in between the bricks and it'll look like mortar. It's a much easier, nicer, quicker way of than painting them. Well, let's get these done. I don't know if I can be bothered to face the brickwork on the buildings yet. We'll see. Let's just do these first of all. Do the gardens, and then I can, if I'm feeling up to it, all going on those. But same as a building, I'm just basically slopping this stuff on at this point. I just want to get it on, and I can go back and neaten it up afterwards. It's my usual painting style: slop it up, and then ask questions later. I think that's the best way to go about these things. I've got a load of greenhouses as well, kicking about, which I really need to put together. Not put together, just paint. Put them on little bases, and I can put those in little allotments and things. Again, more cover. I'll just have them scattered about the table, make it all look nice. What did you say, Richard? Yeah. Have you heard of Scary Biscuit Studio Bomber Boys Solo World War II bomber game? No, I haven't. The only one I ever played is B-17 Queen of the Skies, the old classic Avalon Hill solo game, which is great. I used to have an original copy of it, which I bought at Triples many years ago, and then stupidly sold it. And then I saw somebody was selling copies of it as a DVD on eBay, obviously dodgy copies, so I bought that and then just printed bits of it out. It's a fantastic game though. I don't know the what's it called, Bomber Boys, I don't know that. I'll have a look into it. Queen of the Skies is ace though, and I think there's some other ones as well, like America Bomber and things based on the same game engine basically, but I never played those either. Great game, still got yours. Yeah, it is. If you're talking about B-17 Queen of the Skies, it's good to see your crew go through the 25 missions. Not that they very rarely do, for me anyway. I got into it because when I went to Triples, when I bought it at Triples, the show in Sheffield, there was somebody, they were doing a participation game of it. Oh, it's a free download game. Oh, okay. Yeah, B-17. Somebody was doing a participation of B-17, and they had, I think it was like a 1/72nd scale B-17 in the centre of the table. And then the German aircraft came in, they were all model kits as well. They just basically, just had the entire thing set up on the table. It was excellent. And it got me into it, and then I saw a copy of it for sale, I think, on the second-hand store, so I got myself a copy. That was back in the day, when I was a wee nipper. Right, so I'm just going to get some of this red on here. I'm not going to be too neat. Like I said, I'm not going to do too much on these. I just want to get some of the brick red on, and then I'll leave it at that for this house, because I'll come back and I'll neaten it up later when I do the doors and the windows and stuff. I painted the other one during last night's Plastic Crack podcast, so I know it takes me about 2 hours to do, but obviously there's two of them. It's always sad when they die. It is, especially when they've been on the in the aircraft for a while. That's the problem when you start naming people. Okay. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on getting this in the right place. I'll not turn the sound off or anything. Not yet, anyway. I've still got some Russian buildings to do as well, some 3D printed Russian buildings, so I'm going to get those done at some point. I'm just still trying to work out what to do with them, with the surroundings, whether to put them on little bases on their own with gardens, or whether to make gardens out of the fences I've got. So I'm still thinking about what to do with those, but I'll get to them. Eventually get to everything. What are we all on about? It's a cracking cartoon computer game called The Bomber Crew. Okay. It's had an American B-17 supplement. I'll have a look for that. I've got RAF Solitaire air combat game called from West End Games. Fun battle over Britain game. Okay. Would that be the triples at EIS or the Octagon? Octagon, not the Royal Victoria Hotel. I never went. I'm not that old, Richard. I first went when he was at Octagon. It would probably be in about, I would have said maybe 87 or 88. I don't know how long it had been going at the Octagon, but that was around the time. Right. I can never remember how old I was. If I was 13 it was 87, if I was 14 it was 88. I can't remember which. The guys that did the 3 pins for you, are they on the market? Yes they are, Louis baby. It's called Sabotaged and the E is a 3. Paul's a really nice guy. I think he used to work for Warlord Games. Paul Edwards. And he's very helpful. You are that old. I wasn't going to say it, Richard. Yeah, he did. These ones aren't on his website. He just did these ones as a favour for me. But he's got other stuff as well. And if you ask him about various things, he'll design stuff for you as well, or he'll print out your designs. These gardens, he designed these gardens for me, and then printed them out. But again, I don't think they're on the website because he never updates it. But there's loads of really nice stuff on there. A lot of it is lardy game orientated. So there's like various movement trays and things for things like sharp practice, that kind of stuff. And chain of command, there's force morale trackers and stuff. I got those from there. Yeah, check them out. Have a look. It's always good to throw some what's the word? Some business his way, because he's sorted me out loads. I bought from them recently, fast shipping. Yes, he's very, very quick. Some markers and trays, yeah. He puts stuff in the post literally that as soon as it's printed out. No messing. What was he saying there? Where we at? Well, you was great to the Octagon. Yes, it was, Tim. It was like a bloody rabbit warren, wasn't it? He'd find new places every time. We used to go both days as well when we were nippers. And spend all day playing games and stuff. Evening, Andrew. I am well, thank you very much. Also, I hope you are. Good to have you on board. Right, as I say, I'm loath to do much more on this, simply because if I start doing it, it's going to be detailed stuff. So I don't really want to paint and chat while I'm trying to do some detailed stuff. I'm just trying to do the basics at this point. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this to one side. Once I've just gone over some of this brick a little bit, and then I'll come back to this at my leisure, probably tomorrow at some point, tomorrow evening I would have thought, and then I will. So now I'm going to grab that jungle terrain and I'm going to start finishing that off. What time are it? It's only 8:25, isn't it? It is a bit early. One more thing I want to do actually before I do that is I'm just going to paint that pavement part in stone grey first of all, because that's a nice easy thing to do, and that doesn't take too much. So I'll paint that up. So that's the thing with these houses, they don't come with anything around them. Let's have a look, see if I've got one to show you. Show you what I mean. So there you are. So it's like just like a little box really, with not much on the bottom of it. So as I say, what I've done is I've added a pavement at the front as well, just a little bit of interest there, a little bit of interest. I love going to the Octagon, I always felt lively. Yeah, it did, it was always really busy. The fact that you had to seek stuff out was the best part as well. Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? It's like, you know, where was this place going to? It was really good. You'd always find little tiny little rooms with like somebody crammed in playing a game. Where have you been all weekend? It was ace. I think it lost a lot of its character when it moved over to the EIC. You could kind of see that it was on its way out, I think, by that point. Anyway, though it just felt like it when we went. We just kind of went and then came out again. You know, spent a couple of hours, and I think it was the same with a lot of other people. I think by that point, I think it was overstretching itself, having it as a 2-day affair. And I think a lot of people said the same as well. But it was still good in its day. But now we've got ChillCon, haven't we? Which is certainly, well, before the pandemic, we're starting to certainly get to getting good numbers and getting to a good size as well. So I hope that continues. Those old venues were always great, like Salute at Kensington Town Hall, Warfare at Hexagon. You know, I've never been to Warfare. And I only went, the first time I went to Salute was in 2019, so I never went to it at Kensington Town Hall. But yeah, it's just those old guard, isn't it, who know of these places. I went to Vapnatak, the one that is now at the racecourse in York. I went to it when it was at the Merchant Adventurers Hall in the middle of York. That was great. It was tiny, but yeah, you know, it was what it was. Right, so I've got the basic blocks on that. What are you saying? It's more like a shopping trip at EIS, yeah. No, you could walk to it. Yes, I know what you mean. It just didn't have the same atmos. Sorry, I've not walked off. I'm just getting some of this jungle terrain here so I can work on it on the table. I've also got some jungle huts that I want to finish off as well at some point. I've got some, I want to do the roofs on those. So these are the biscuit things I did a while ago. As you can see now, they are starting to get like the jungle terrain I want. I'll just pull these ones over here as well so I can grab that. Sorry. Back in a second. Here we are. Right. Is there a date for ChillCon? I haven't seen. I think it kept getting pulled back, Richard. I can't remember what the last one was that I saw. I think they might have been selling tickets online, so it might still be up. Maybe March. I'm wanting to say that. I don't know. Might have got pushed that. You need to bounce, I'm afraid. Good luck in the Caesars. Thank you very much, Tim. Look forward to introducing you. Double award winner Alex from Storm Seas. See you later, Tim. Thanks a million. And I'll look forward to the video when it gets finally put up. Right. Right, where's my little stabby tool that I was using for this? I've got a file that's got a perfect shape on the end. That's good for, there it is, right there in front of me. You do remember blagging a ton of bolt action stuff off Warlord though. I think I got 2 boxes and 4 blisters for 20 quid. Yeah, good price, good price. I was thinking about, this might astound you, I was thinking about playing a bolt action game on the channel. I don't know whether to do it or not. Just to see what it's like. Because, you know, I've never played it. And And it's complete opposite to to chain of command. But you know, I've got plenty of figures for it, so I wouldn't really need to do a great deal. 20th of August, the Chilcon. Thank you very much. There you go. And I've got involved in something as well that's a bit hush hush at the moment, but he's also thingy is bolt action, so I need to learn how to play it. I was looking at the rules the other day. It doesn't seem particularly difficult to learn, I don't think. Phalanx at St Helens. No, I haven't. St Helens is probably just a little bit too far away. Where I'm based here in near Sheffield, in Rotherham, is it's pretty good because you can drive. Because I'm the only one out of my chums who drives. I don't like going much further than about an hour really, because you can just get knackered. You end up driving for 3 hours out of the day, and 2 hours driving compared to 3 hours driving, especially when you drive for your job to Scotland and back regularly, is a pain in the bum at the weekend. So my limit is like an hour's drive, but because of where we live, that means Newark is just in that area, York is just in that area, Manchester is. Wow, did the earth stop? You playing bolt action? No. I only said I might. I was just thinking about it. I just wondered if the channel views would go through the roof or not. Obviously, being a popular game and all. I'm just doing it for the views. What was I saying? But so yeah, so basically, being where we are, you can get to a lot of shows within an hour. So there's obviously the Partisans, the other Partisan, Hammerhead, Vapnatak. There was Triples, but now obviously Chilcon. There's Chilcon Derby. There was Robin as well, red on blue in Nottingham. About BAE is fun. I think vehicles are handled much better in chain of command. Playing a platoon first platoon of infantry is much more fun in BA. Well, I was just thinking about it because, like I say, I've got all the materials for it quite easily. I don't have to do anything. I just do it in 15mm, and just to see how it works. Because then you see, it's a case of knowing your enemy, isn't it? At the end of the day. If you play it, at least if I've played it, I can say if I like it or not. It would never take me away from my beloved chain of command, though. That's for sure. So all I'm doing here, I don't know if you can see if it's on the screen or not, is I've just got these aquarium plants, and I've got this little pokey stick with a sharp edge, and I'm just poking into the base. I do have a jungle terrain video coming along at some point in the future, which will detail all these things, how I'm doing this. And I'm just super gluing these in place, and then I'm going to stick a load of tufts and stuff on the bottom as well, just again to break it up and just to give it a bit of shape. Any shows in Manchester? It'd be nice to meet up. Yes, there's the British. Well, there's the British. Oh no, it's down in Nottingham this year. But normally there's British Historical Gamers thing. That's normally over in Manchester, but they shifted it to Nottingham and that's where Lord Workshop is at this as well. But yes, it would be good to meet up, Andy. You'll have to come over the Pennines to us, I think. You should play the same scenario, BA and COC, and compare the game. Hey, that's actually a really good idea. That is a really good idea, actually. And then I couldn't be accused of selling out, could I? A compare and contrast. No, that's a really good idea, that, Dom, actually. I think that might be something I might explore. I'd need to read Bolt Action first of all. but having had a brief look at it, I don't think it's going to be very difficult to get the rules, to be honest. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly complex in it. And that's not a reflection on the players. But yeah, if I did like a platoon of each, be happy to arrange something and get it sorted. Yes, let's do it. Have a look around, see if there is any. I'm not sure, there must be. Just put bolt action in 15mm in the title and click shall come. Do a lot of people play it in 15mm? I've been thinking about doing it myself, though I don't know chain of command well enough. Yeah. Ground scale mismatch could be a problem. Okay, I'm assuming BA has got a bigger ground scale than chain of command has. But it would just be interesting just to fight over the same terrain. It's a shame I don't live down your way, Dom. I'd be more than happy to take you through bolt action. Bolt action, chain of command. I've got it on my mind. And take you through it. Well, that's all I seem to be doing these days. I've not played it in ages against anyone. Even better if you play both against the actual historical scenario and see what the outcome you get. Yeah, I could do it with could maybe take one of the pint-sized campaign scenarios and do that, and then replay it. Unless there's, I'm assuming there's some there will be bolt action scenarios, won't there? That you can use. I think I've got a number in the WSS magazine. I think there's quite a few bolt action scenarios in those. What I still haven't done is I haven't played the recce game, the para game that I painted all those paras for the other day. That's something I want to do as soon as possible. I can't this weekend, but BA is designed to be exclusive 28mm. Well, yeah, it's designed to be, but you know, we're wargamers, we break things. Chain of command is, you know, most people play it in 28mm, but it is actually designed at 15mm. I think, from what I know of bolt action, I think it would work quite well with 15mm anyway. Simply because because the scales that they use are a bit waned. But this is, you know, it's talking to somebody who doesn't really know much about it. Having a back here. Evening all, how are we doing? Working on some mixed Peter Pig this evening for the African Wars project. AK-47 Reloaded. Excellent, good stuff. BA ground scale is similar to chain of command. 15mm shouldn't matter. Yeah, I don't think anything would matter really, because I don't really care about ground scale. It's one of the last things I think about when I think about a game. Because ground scale is one of those things. I said this on Twitter a while back. If ground scale is such a big issue, why do most units in most war games move 6 inches? No matter what the scale of the game is. Only the wrong uns use 28mm. If you're breaking, I'm telling Mum. What do you think of the All Group Normandy release? Why don't you watch my my video review, Richard? You'll see exactly what I think of it. I think it's great. It's a really good addition, and for the cheapness as well. Of the for £9 for a PDF, it's great. 6 scenarios. I think 6 army lists for battalions. 2 for the Germans as well, which is nice to see. 2 different German ones. So yeah, great value for money. I'm looking forward to the rest of them. There's no airborne stuff in it though, but they does say in it that there is a dedicated airborne extra supplement coming at some point as well in the future. So keep an eye out for that if you want to do some para drop stuff. BA would be fine at 15mm. Yeah, you've done 20mm easy enough. I figured it would be. A platoon level game will work perfectly well, won't it, at that scale, I would have thought. And as I say, anyway, ground scales are I don't know. To me, they're nonsense when you start breaking them down a bit. Because ground scales are generally just based on the effective weapon firing, and it doesn't happen in real life, that. So I'm just trying to get these bits and pieces stuck in here, so the big leaves and stuff, and then I'll come back and do the the little shrubs and things. Where's my clippers gone? Walkabout Games says, those palm trees are coming out nice, thank you. Just got 40 more in the mail yesterday. Yeah, I got 30 today in the post as well. That's why I'm working on them tonight, because I just want to get them done. Because these the bases have been sat around for ages now, just waiting for the palm trees to turn up. So all I've done is, just because they're obviously a bit plasticky, I've just I've ink washed. Well, I've used Agrax Earthshade on the trunks, and then I've just dry brushed yellow on the fronds, just to give them a little bit of colour. Just makes them pop a little bit. It's all it needs. It's nothing major. How many is that? 5? I think I've done 5 out of 15 now. It's just a bit of a long process doing this bit, putting all the little bits and pieces on. But yeah, we'll get there. I've got nothing else to do. There's 20 of you watching. Say something in chat if you're watching. Just say hello. Introduce yourself. It's always nice to know who's watching. It's always the problem. You never actually know who are watching. It tells you the numbers. Oops. Your NAM table is coming together. I took a torch to my trunks to get rid of flash. Yeah, that's a good idea as well. I just scraped it with a knife. Just the edge of a knife. Scalpel also did the same thing. I have often thought about NAM. I've got the Charlie Don't Serve, the Too Far Lardy's rules. But I don't know if it would be another period too far. A mate of mine's got a load of Vietnam figures for the Battlefront stuff, for the Flames of War, so we could just use those for Charlie Don't Serve. But again, it's another project for another day, I think. It just means that I'd be able to use this jungle terrain. But also, I'll tell you what I wouldn't mind getting is some American Marines, and start doing some later Pacific War stuff, because I've got the Japanese, I just need the Marines. I've got British and Indians for early war, and I've also got some 14th Army as well for Burma, but only a platoon of them. So it'd be nice to get some other bits and pieces together for that, just so I can use these terrain pieces in different bits and pieces, different theatres. How many of these palm trees bases you reckon going to have at the end? Going to fill 6 before? No, it's not going to fill the table completely. There's 15 of these ones, and I can't remember how many. I think I had about 15 or so of the ones with the CDs, and then I've also got about 10 with just some shrubs and stuff on as well. So there's going to be tons. It's not going to completely fill the entire table, but it's going to, fill a good part of it. That's kind of what I want, because obviously Malayan jungles aren't just palm trees. They are also other trees as well, so I've got plenty of other trees to mix in. So look what we're saying. Everybody's saying interesting to see what the rules Rubicon do for their 28 NAM figures. Yeah, they're talking about Union Jack Jackson. Classic. 15mm UMC. Peter Pig will do them. I don't know who else does them. I know Peter Pig certainly do them. I think Battlefronts will most likely do them as well. I've not really looked into it, but I know Peter Pig do. But yeah, Battlefront I'd do them. I don't know if Forged in Battle do. I'm not sure. And another Warlord reader. Everyone's a Warlord reader. Yeah, it's great stuff. Classic. Late to the party. Never are you never too late. Currently painting some 3mm Tigers for Rommel. Do you think you'll put out any more Rommel content in the future? Difficult to say, Henry, to be honest. The problem is it's not really a solo game. Because you've got the rubber tree plants. Yeah, if I could find some. Rommel's not really a solo game because you've got those reactive bits in the ops dice. I mean, I could probably work around it and just, roll a dice to see if they do react or something. If they use a react, if they got a reactive dice, they could just use it or something. But yeah, I should go back to Rommel. This is a great game. Very good fun. We started playing it, and we just kind of didn't lose interest, but just disappeared. I like the grid parts of it, and I like the ops dice as well because I turned them into a card system instead of using that table. One of the guys who play tested it, Paul, is at the he goes to the club. He's in the I think he's mentioned in the book itself. He's one of the play testers, and he said originally that he was going to do them as cards. The command board. Yes, there you go. The command board is the thing that makes it hard to play solo. Apparently Sam was going to do them as cards, but then realised it was going to cost a lot of money to actually produce the cards, so decided against it and did the command board instead. But I turned him into a set of cards because I thought that was going to be a lot easier, and it is. It makes the game a lot easier. I think Pegasus Hobbies makes 1/72 set of rubber trees. Pricey though. Yeah, that's why I'd go to China. Get them from source. We'll see. Where's that hole gone? There you are. Don't think I'm going to get all of these done tonight because it's a bit of a dull job and there's a lot to do. Oh, well, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how we go. Hit that like button, by the way. 26 of you, 17 likes. If you're enjoying the nonsense. At least I hope you're enjoying the nonsense. Trying to find rubber trees as well. Good point, Reef solo playing. The approach of using cards definitely seems the way to go though. Yes, I can't remember if I put them on my blog, on the Storm of Steel blog, ages ago. If you have a search about on that, I can't remember if I left a link to the Google Drive files that I did the cards, because you have to do, because they've got different ops for early, mid and late. There's some ops that are all the way through the war for the Germans and for the Soviets at least, and then there's some that there's some that are early and late and mid, so I had to make different cards for those as well. But for the solo playing, I just my problem was always like the reactive stuff, like when you move in, and if they decide to play ops to move out of the place you're attacking. I don't know how you do that in solo, apart from basically just rolling a dice and to seeing if your opponent does it, if they decide to spend the points on it. I mean, that would be one way of doing it. And there's a lot of reaction cards as well as action cards, so that's the difficulty of it. Did Warlord also have a character called Riker who had a motorbike with two PS welded and later bazookas? Command support option in waiting. I can't remember that guy. I wonder if he did. It doesn't ring a bell. It wouldn't surprise me though. It's probably in Warlord or in Valiant or something. I used to read Warlord because my auntie had a load of the annuals that she bought for my cousin when he was a bit older than us. So when we used to go and stay at her house at weekends, we'd watch Professionals and read Warlord. Oh, things were simpler then, weren't they? Good times. If they didn't, they should have. Absolutely. Agree with that. Right, so how many more have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 more to go. Blimey. I tell you what, I'll keep going till 9 o'clock and I'll leave it at that, I think. I'll do a few more and I'll finish the rest off tomorrow. And I won't live stream it. I'll watch somebody else's live stream. I'll watch Napoleonic Wargaming's live stream, in fact. Because he'll be live streaming tomorrow. Evening, Andy. Don't worry about being late. That's fine. I can always watch it on the catch up, as they say. There was a Jeep with 2 bazookas historically, as you recall. Battle Action, a 2000 AD classic, yes. Palm trees look good. Cheers, Andy. Yeah, I was a big fan of 2000 AD. Great stuff. Back in the glory days of the 80s and early 90s. And then latterly the Choose Dread magazine as well. Another classic thing. So I'm trying to get rid of as many of these. I don't know if you can see these. I'm trying to finish off as many of these aquarium plants as I can, just to get them out of the way because they've been sat there for such a long time. They need to go. Just text my wife. There she goes. Over in Serbia at the moment. Modelling for Advantage live streams at 21:30. Is that tonight? God, that's a bit late, isn't it? No reason why I can't keep up till 11:90. There is, because I'll probably fall asleep in front of you. That's the main reason. Stash of Waller 2000 AD in the loft here. I traded all my 2000 AD comics for a load of Star Wars role-playing stuff back in the 90s. I kind of regret it, but then, at the end of the day, there's a vast amount of stuff as well. That's what I was wondering. Reckon you'll be taking Algae to Lard Workshopping? Yes, I am taking Algae to Lard Workshop. I've already put it down for it. So I might, because it's such a good multiplayer game, it might be one that we just do all day and people can just jump in and out as they want, and then as they get shot down they can go and do something else. Night is young, yes, but I'm not. I'm booked in to play Group with you at CrackCon. Good stuff, Andy. I'll have to read the rules then, won't I? Let's see if I can remember them. But you'll be seeing this jungle terrain on the tabletop at CrackCon. All going well. Looking forward to that, actually. It'll be a good laugh. I don't know who else has signed up for the old group game. I don't know where it's at the moment. I've not checked. Hopefully it'll be a good one. Tally ho and pip pip, indeed, all the way. Yeah, it's a great game. As I say, I was playing it this weekend for another video. It's a right laugh. It's proper chaos when it gets going, especially when you've got characters as well, because they start zipping around the table. I just don't know what to do, whether to do it late war or early. Mind you, it makes no difference really, does it? I've got all of it. I could probably do a full session for the morning and one for the afternoon. I did think about Algae for CrackCon as well, but O Group was requested. You're dropping by to see O Group. Good stuff. Excellent. You can take command of a battalion as well if you want, Dom. We can show you how it works at least. Great game. Looking at thingy, General de Brigade, General d'Armée. I think it looks like it might be a pretty similar kind of system, because obviously it's written by Dave Brown, same guy. And it looked like the tokens that you had on your game on the podcast last night look very similar to the O Group one, so I'm assuming the two are going to be similar. What we're saying is, Checkos, if I get a chance between putting on my demos, I'll check it out. Crack on, good stuff. We ordered stuff from Heroics and Ross, classic. I would have a look at Bacchus as well, Andy. Their Second World War 6mm range is growing, and Bacchus are very nice. If I was going to do 6mm Second World War, which I'm definitely not, I would probably go and have a look at what Bacchus have got to offer before I went anywhere else, because their sculpts are lovely. I was thinking about O Group in 6mm just the other night, and then I managed to bring myself back round again. Thought, don't be silly, the amount of 15mm stuff I've already got. But it would look lovely in 6mm, I think. Work really well. You can do some really nice little modelling pieces on the infantry boards and stuff. At least that's what I'd do anyway. We should start playing Lord Flashheart. Yeah, we're not having any Blackadder quotes in my algae games. That doesn't happen. But I can't remember from the there's flying footage of them, I think, in the show, and I can't remember what it was they were flying in. They weren't First World War aircraft. It was 6mm Samurai going. Yes. You don't try and mix H&R with Bacchus, different scales. Okay, there you go. There's a good bit of info there for you. I don't know how big the Bacchus range is. I know it's growing all the time, because I've not really looked at it, because I'm trying not to get myself into World War II in 6mm. Do you know what? There's only a few more to do. If I get these bits into them tonight, I can finish them off tomorrow. I'll get these little bits in, and that one, and then at least I've done them. Then haven't I? At least they're out of the way. One less thing to do, and something in a box of crap empty. That's the way I should see it. He was hoping to go, however, the next 3 events following your wedding anniversary, birthday, and Mrs.'s birthday. Well, you could go for your birthday, couldn't you, surely? Say, this is my birthday present. That's what I want. I'm just going to separate these off. What we're saying here, Peter won't say, but I think the Bacchus tanks are probably something like 250th. Okay, that's interesting. Some more like, what are they called? Micro Armour. Can't remember the name of the company. The 128 to 50, I think. Can't remember the name of that. It'll come to me. I'm sure somebody out there knows. I'll just snip them off. Sorry, 128. Yeah, I understood what you said. What you meant, Richard. No worries. There we are. Okay, come on. That's it, GCHQ. 1285, beautiful little models. Yes, they are. They're lovely, but they're right expensive, aren't they? That's the ones I was thinking of. GCHQ. We've still got some up in the, or at least they used to have some in the Wargames Emporium in Sheffield. Quite a big collection, microscale or something like that. Yeah. GHQ, GCHQ, GHQ. Back is noticeably bigger than even them. Wow. But yeah, they're really fantastically detailed things. But again, I daren't buy any because the next thing you know, I'll be redoing all my 15mm World War II in 6mm for World War II. And that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down because I don't have space. I seriously don't have space. I'm now covered in bloody super glue as well. I'm just going to get these on first, then I'll put the big leaves on. I'll do this. Okay, there. Bacchus of a Ukrainian appeal going on. Good for them. Don't forget, I've got a Ukrainian appeal going on. If you have a look in the description of the video, you'll see links to t-shirts. My t-shirts at Redbubble, Storm of Steel t-shirts. If you buy anything from Redbubble over the next while, I'll donate it. I'll match it and donate the profits to the Ukrainian Red Cross. Gave them 40 quid last week, so thanks to everybody who bought a t-shirt. So that's good. A lovely pricey though. Bacchus stuff looks great too. Yeah, Bacchus is excellent, I think. There's so many wonderful World War II miniatures in every scale of module. Yes, it's crazy. Even in CC Audi. A bit late, you're here. That's the main thing, you're here. Makes choosing something so difficult boost on the table. Yes, it does. It certainly does. There's just too much of it, and sometimes I don't know, I'm not complaining there's too much choice. It's great, I think. It can be confusing though. I think, to be honest though, getting into wargaming now must be really confusing for people. If you come from something like, especially if you come from something like Games Workshop, where literally everything's on a plate for you. Just to start, I see it. I'm on Reddit and I see it all the time. New people saying, "How do I do historical wargaming?" And it's, you just think, bloody hell, there must be so much out there, I suppose. Victrix bringing out Soviets in their 12mm range. Yeah, danger signals right there. Yeah, the Victrix stuff is lovely as well, isn't it? Again, I'd like to go for that, but I just think to myself, it must be mad. You have 15mm, got tons of 15mm. Why would I need 12mm? Yes, we have an embarrassment of choice as wargamers these days. I don't think there's anything wrong with. More choice the better. Better for the consumer anyway. Big fan of Heroics and Ross. New infantry are great and they scale properly with their figures. Yeah, I used to have tons of the Heroics and Ross back in the day, years ago. Got rid of them all though, but they weren't great years ago, 20 or 30 years ago, but I've looked at them since and they've really improved all their sculpts and stuff. That's why a lot of people stick with GW. It's easy. Yeah, and also I think it's because they garden wall their customers. You can't buy anything else in a Games Workshop shop, and how many other wargaming shops are there on the high street? So there's a lot of people who play Games Workshop stuff who aren't even aware of a wider wargaming hobby, even science fiction or fantasy. We were talking about this the other day, me and my mates, and you know, it's like you literally they've even taken the word of hobby. It's not called wargaming, it's hobby, isn't it? Let's do some hobby. You know, it's a Games Workshop hobby. Golden age of choice for a dying hobby. Yes, no, it's not hobby. It's not dying. That's all, is it? It never has been. I mean, with historicals, it's always been an older crowd. So it's always been, you know, the youngsters play stuff like GW, and then they might discover the Second World War, and then they get into that at an older age. So you've always got a turnover of people coming in. They're just generally older. That's all it is. I mean, you know, of course there are youngsters who do historical wargaming, but the vast majority, judging by the wargaming survey, are, you know, 40 plus years old, which is not surprising in the slightest, basically. Right, I've got those 3 left to do, and then I've got some more fronts. You're not a gamer, you're a hobbyist. Yeah, exactly that. One thing about GW is you never short someone to play against. Well, that is true as well. Can't say the same thing about all scales and rules. That is also true. It takes a certain amount of effort to sometimes find other people. And, you know, I don't play Games Workshop games, but I certainly don't think they're the devil. I think they're just a they're a gateway. It's a gateway drug. Because I mean, I go into my local Games Workshop to buy paints and stuff, and I always chat to the guy behind the counter, and he doesn't just play Games Workshop. I'll not tell you which one it is because he might get fired, but he doesn't just play Games Workshop stuff. Because we talk about other things as well. He plays a lot of other sci-fi things as well as Games Workshop. So, you know, it's not everybody in there who only knows. In Chain of Command, curious how do your palm trees play in the game? Light cover, heavy going? Yeah, light cover. Heavy going, as you say, basically. Like woods, whatever they are. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. But yeah, pretty much, it's just a woodland. You're waiting for your Bob Battle of Britain fighter bombers from Rolex and Ross. Ordered them 3 weeks ago. Still not here yet. Okay, well, yeah, chase them up, Kevin. I hope they do arrive. Scotia Grendel do some nice 1300 aircraft. I got some of their stuff for Malaya. Obvs. Some Zeros and KI-43s, and what was the other stuff they got on? Brewster Buffaloes as well. How many play turnips? Not me. It's interesting. I like Steve over at the Plastic Crack podcast. I like his stuff. It's amazing work. And I think, you know, I like the fact that you can make your imagination run a bit wild. I know there's some people talking about bringing out a range of turnip figures. I think that'll kind of ruin it a little bit, but you know, it's about the creativity of doing something weird with Napoleonic figures, I guess, isn't it? When I we visit the GW shop in Belfast. Kind of envious of the youngsters having a good game. Well, you can have a good game without Games Workshop, but yeah, it's nice to, you know, as long as they're playing and they're enjoying themselves. All of my games are good games. GG. That's because I play the game, not the period. Can't believe I'm absolutely covered in nice looking jungle. Thank you, Nordic Maelstrom. Good to have you on board. Can't even get through this one. Must be a pretty thick plaster on that one. Perhaps that was the first one I did when I was putting my plaster everywhere. Oh God, I'm covered in super glue now. I'm going to fall to bits. I've got 26 viewers according to this. Only 20 likes. Hit that like button, folks, if you're watching and enjoying. Ooh, it's 9:10 already. Did somebody say that Modelling for Advantage were streaming at 9:30? I might I think if I finish at 9:30, then that means you can all jump over there, can't you? Let's go and watch them instead. And that'll do. First time catching you in one of your live shows from the other side of the pond. Good stuff. Good to hear you. I think the key there is youngsters. Hey, we can all have fun. CC. It comes down to that last one dice roll. But you know, as long as they're enjoying the game, it doesn't matter what game they're enjoying, does it? As far as I'm concerned. I don't know how many more of these little tufts I've got. Still quite a few left in here. So I don't know whether to just go back and stick loads more on the other ones as well later on. Alright Thomas, thanks for watching in. Good to have you on board. Have a good evening. Watch the rest of this on stream. On the catch up, should I say? You're currently watching it on stream. What's wrong with me? I put quite a lot on this one, I think, just to use some of these up. Because I've got no other use for them otherwise. But we'll get there. It's good to see younger people playing these games. Means the hobby will endure. Absolutely, yeah, we were just talking about that. I mean, you know, when they discover girls, they'll probably drift away from it, but then quite a few of them will come back in later times. And that's what it's all about. And they'll come and join us, old folk, at the old people's room, old people's home. There you can tell I'm getting tired. Can't even speak. Can't even speak my native language. Yes, you see a good clip around the ears for their figures. You'd make a killing if they're all Games Workshop figures. Get them on eBay. Oops. Dropping stuff everywhere. It's very terrain heavy. Tonight, having been up at 5 AM, going to turn in early. Good stuff. Thank you very much, Richard. Thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you when I see you. I'm not sure when I'll next bump into you, but I will do. I'm sure. A show or something. If not, probably at Lard Workshop, I'm assuming. Try to involve the youngsters in our monthly meeting grounds. It's fun tutoring them in the ways of the elders. They just need to find women who appreciate my hobbies. Yeah, well, if they hang around with them for long enough, if they go out together for long enough, then I think the women will be quite happy for them to go off and have hobbies. Go on, get away while I watch telly. Me and my wife, we play board games together. She won't play war games, but she's big into board games. So we play a lot of those together, which is good. It means that if ever I'm stuck for presents, I can just have a look at what the best board games are at the moment and buy her a copy. I think the problem is if she did do wargaming, she'd probably end up beating me all the time. So I don't think it'd be a very happy marriage. And I'd stop playing. Mind you, I get beaten by everybody anyway all the time, so it makes no real difference. What's a favourite board game? Good question, actually. Let me think. She likes the card game Port Royale, which is quite a nice little simple game of bidding and push your luck. She likes that one a lot. We play that a lot. She likes Dominion as well. another card game. She likes thingy deck builder games. She likes those a lot. So those they're two of them. And Dominion, I mean, they're both great games anyway. Thingy's good fun. Port Royale. And we got another one. She's got another one as well called Valley of the Kings, an Egyptian deck builder. That's a good one as well. It's good fun. Right, that's all the little shitty leaves in there. If you're all like me, the garage was a 1970 heretic. Oh, Gary Gygax. I was reading how ages ago I was reading about him and how I think Dungeons and Dragons was going to be turned into a film. So he basically went out to Hollywood for the script treatments and all that stuff, and he just ended up hiring a massive mansion and blowing cocaine and getting a load of hookers in apparently. Crazy. He taught you how to play DBA. It was a disaster. She was much better than me, so I packed that in. Dominion's a fun game. Yeah, it is. Ascension and Core Worlds. Okay, I don't know those ones. I'll have a look. Gygax. That takes you back. Takes everybody back. Yeah, what other ones is there? There's one... Star Realms, I think it's called. That's another nice little deck builder game. I had that on my phone. I was playing that. Oh, and she bought me for Christmas. She bought me Terraforming Mars, and we both really like that. Gygax ECW was that's right. It's the first thing that TCR published. Interestingly, it's same as Thingy, isn't it? Rick Priestley, his first set of rules, which were basically Warhammer. Were Thingy, when they say Wars of the Roses set of rules. So it's interesting that Gygax did the English Civil War first and then went on to do the weird fantasy shit, and Rick Priestley did the Wars of the Roses and then went on to do the weird fantasy shit. But I mean, you can see that really. You can see it in the setting of Warhammer, or originally as it was anyway. That 15th, 16th century kind of stuff with the Bretonnian knights and things, and it's like post-feudal Germany, isn't it? Interesting. I always liked it. I always preferred with the Warhammer, that old Warhammer fantasy role-playing setting. I preferred that much more to stuff like Dungeons and Dragons. Me and my mates were talking about it the other day, and he said he likened the adventure party in Dungeons and Dragons to Spice Girls. I know exactly what it means. They're all a little bit different. Whereas in Warhammer Fantasy, even though you all were different races and things, you all felt like you would be wearing the same kind of clothes. Whereas in Dungeons and Dragons, you've got somebody in plate armor, and then you've got somebody in, wizard's cloak, and then I don't know, it never sat right with me. Whereas, like I say, the best armor that you had in Warhammer Fantasy roleplay was like a leather jerkin or something. And you can imagine everybody covered in crap as well. Laserburn was his prequel to 40k. Yes, that's right. No, that was thingy. Brian Ansell. He wrote Laserburn. And then the Reaper Fantasy set too. If you're on Instagram, check out Ansell's Attic. It's run by Diane Ansell, Brian Ansell's wife, and they've got shitloads of really old school Games Workshop stuff, literally in their attic. And she every so often gets stuff of it out. She gets stuff out and takes photos of it, and it's all like late 80s, early 90s Games Workshop stuff. Proper nostalgia. Haven't heard the Spice Girls since the 90s. Nobody has. They disappeared a long time ago. Ooh, I just breathed in a load of super glue I'll stop doing that. Right. I'm getting there. I'm just going to stick these last few bits and pieces on here, and then I'm going to call it a night, I think. I just want to get, like I said, try and get as much of this stuff done as possible, and then I'll come back and I'll finish off the tufts and stuff tomorrow. And it means you can all jump over to the Modelling for Advantage stream as well. So we're not all competing for viewers. Well, I think this has been one of my busiest streams. So thanks everybody for being part of it. We played Fantasy Armies, Orcs, Elves and Lights with WRG rules. Some of the magazine had the rules for the Magic. Fun distraction of Romans versus Gauls. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, WRG, classic. Classic stuff. Chart City. I want to stop getting super glue on my hands as well at this point. First Spice Girls. Did I play Battle Cars? Yes, I did. Did play Battle Cars. Steve Jackson game, classic. It was good that. Used to have a right load of laugh with that. Battle Cars. Spice Girls album still holds up. It certainly does. It's a classic of our age. What else are we saying? Remember the WRG 6-edited mods for fantasy? I can't be bothered to go on anymore. I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm 99% done. I just can't. I can't go on anymore. You seem to be in a bit of a Wargaming race and spend all my time in podcasts and painting. Good. Lockdown has been great for you. Good. Same here as well. I'm the same. I'm all over videos and podcasts and what have you nowadays with the Wargaming. It's a great time to be a part of this hobby, this mad hobby of ours. So right, I am going to sign out there. Thanks a million everybody for watching. It's been good. I'm going to keep trying to do these as frequently as possible, usually mostly on a Tuesday night. So that is something to watch out for. I'll keep doing as much as I can. And what we're saying, retired from corporate, spend all my time painting gaming. The lockdown has got you to paint every single 28mm. Yes, I was the same with my 15mm. I got rid of all of them. Right, I've said it about 4 times now, but I am going to sign out, and I shall say good night and thank you everybody for watching, and I shall see you all on the next one.